some beginner. I'm gonna uncork me a pint of trouble, and I sit down and drink a double. I'm thirsty for something lighter that could get me even tighter and tighter, till someday I swear I hear angels play. Goodness, is it really real? It would take a child to know the way I feel. Oh my, floating in the blue. I could take
Yeehaw! Yeehaw! I was lost in the dark. Well, how you doing, Herb?
I tell you.
Boy, you look so much like Benzee.
Oh, come on.
Is that a fireman's shirt, too?
You bet it is.
Man, you both were firemen.
Which house?
Slate Hill over here, volunteer.
Okay.
Brother.
The best. The best.
Of
the
course.
best.
I lived in Slate Hill.
Oh, my condolences.
Saved the foundation. Anyway, I don't want to say that. They work hard. We got a gentleman here now. I seen a thing. You charted in the top 30. Is that
Well,
right?
it's number 34 right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the song is called "Oh God," and it's the fourth single, last single off our album, and it's number 34 worldwide on indie hip hop radio, which indie hip hop radio means like mix shows, like college. Mix shows meaning like mainstream radio where the DJ kind of has like an hour to play whatever he wants.
Right.
So we get on that. It means college radio. It means internet radio. So it's kind of like forward-thinking progressive radio, not mainstream big-time radio, except for again
Right.
that 1 hour
Independent
a day
artists.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Because I know I'm on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's an accolade, you know. So
Anyway, this is Mr. Timmy Grins.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, buddy?
It's great to see you, my man. It's great to see you.
One of the #1 artists around.
Working hard, man.
Rap. I want to say rap. It's
Yeah, you can
entertainment.
rap.
It's
Yeah.
rap. It's entertainment.
Yeah,
Did you listen to this stuff?
I've been here when he's been here before. I took pictures of him.
that's right. That's
On
right.
the wrong side of the desk right now.
Yeah,
but
well,
Yeah.
but-
Well, you're
but
taking over
yeah.
for Benzee out in Bullville. He's got. You know what his problem is? He had to mow the lawn. It killed
before
him.
it rained.
Well, it killed him. He's never done nothing more than maybe cut his hair. That's about it.
I have to have a shout out tonight since I'm sitting in the chair.
Right.
I have to have a shout out to Senior Horizons at Silver Lake. That's my guys. That's where I live.
Do they watch you?
Well, they're going to.
Oh, brother.
They're going to be forced to. We'll get an
absolutely.
increase in readership,
Absolutely.
listenership. or
Listen,
something
when
like
you're
that.
out there where he lives and you see him, give him a hand across the street and
I need it. I need it.
Yeah.
yeah, and up the step, bring his groceries in.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we miss you, Benzee.
Yeah, Benzee.
Yeah, I heard your wife wouldn't let you out the house. Is that, that's what it was? Wasn't that what it was?
I don't know.
She said too many nights at the track? Isn't
Yeah,
that-
he's at the track all the time, or the casinos. He's at the
Yeah,
casinos.
I know. He's always got these fantastic trips going on, man. I catch up on Facebook and I see it. And I'm
Well, he
always
does.
like,
He does the hot dog tours,
yeah,
and he does the casino tours and the racetrack tours,
yeah.
and he's busy.
I think he's working harder now than when he was on the force.
Yeah,
right?
he's retired. He told me, but I can't believe it. His kids are in all kinds of sports and everything else.
Yeah,
He's busy.
good for him. Good
So-
for him.
It's
Call him
good for
Busy
him.
instead of Benzee.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah,
busy
Busy
body.
Benzee. Busy Benzee.
Benzee.
Yeah. Something
But,
like
Benzee, Benzee.
We got to say hi to everybody out in Bullville because this goes all over.
Yeah, now where are you now? You're in like a lot because it keeps getting bigger and bigger.
I never
every
know
time
where I
come
am,
out.
but right now we're close to 1 million viewers.
Okay.
We're on Port Jervis area, which is 22,000. Took me 20 years. Anyway.
Yeah, hey, man.
It's
called building a family.
20,000 people in Port Jervis area, and somehow they say 2,000 watches every week.
Hey, that's a good number.
And then we jump to Middletown, and Tuesday nights we're in Newburgh, Cornwall, that whole area at 10 o'clock. And then we're over where Benzee lives in Bullville, and that whole area, and all of Sullivan County, and that whole county over there on Wednesday nights at 9.
9 o'clock.
And then we're live here. And then Tuesday nights, I have my radio show. which is blogtalkradio.com, the Carl Richards Show, and we right now have 500 to 600 listeners every week live, and then 500 or 600 that listen to it later. And we get like 8 or 10 that comes on the blog. Fritz the Cats is on there, and
Get to hear all the latest corny jokes by Deb.
oh, Debbie, and she
yeah.
is a sweetheart from out in Texas, and she reads jokes off the computer.
Okay.
And they're almost like C-Spot Run kind of jokes, but some of them are really got some good hooks in it.
Yeah.
But,
It's always good to find people like that.
we're trying to make the show go back to an hour. We're right on for a half hour now, but just for a half hour show, we're getting all these listeners. So somebody likes hillbillies out there on this planet. And we got a lot of bookings, and that's Benzee's promotions on Facebook if you want to check them out. And you can go to my site, carlrichardsband.com, and then you have a great site too.
Yeah, I mean, it's easiest to find me just at timmygrins.com. That's the easiest place to find me. You get access to everything. It's TIMMYGRINS, spelled as it sounds. You know, contrary to most hip hop stuff, you know, I spell it normally. I am the son of a school teacher. You know, my mother teaches school, so I learned at an early age how to spell.
Oh, boy, you ain't mentioning me then.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, and I got a soft spot for hillbillies, you know, because
Well,
I come from Sussex County, man.
Oh, right.
You know,
Well, I'm
it's
from
kinda-
that area myself, West Milford, so.
That's right, yeah. My girlfriend lives in West Milford, yeah.
And
she's from, she's spent time at West Milford. She's really from Brooklyn, New York, but she's spent time.
Yeah, we're going to be at the Airport Pub in June. I don't know what the date is, but maybe you guys can come out.
Man, I'd love to come out there, man. Love to come out there. That's a great spot.
Jumping little place.
Yeah. Right over there in Sussex Borough, man.
Right.
Yeah, right by the airport.
Right by the airport. That's why they call it Airport Pub.
Yeah.
Jeez,
there'll be
see, he
people,
knows all that important stuff.
Yeah.
I was out there. I saw him play.
I went skydiving out there.
In the bar?
No.
Oh. He was in the bar.
Was it by
skydiving.
choice?
Yeah. It was by choice.
Well, they have a
Go on
great
the airplane
They have a
and you
great
have to
air
skydive.
show. They have a great
that's
air
great.
show out there too.
They do. I mean, it's a good area out there, man. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a place where you can kind of go out. You got a little room to breathe. You got some, you know, for the most part, people are pretty good. You know, the downtown gets a little seedy at times, but you know that kind of gives it a little character, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, that's what we look for.
Well,
right?
it's like every town. You got a
Yeah.
little something going on.
Got to have your other side of the tracks, right?
Right. And there's
Hey, you know, I know you guys were doing a fundraiser, so I wanted to kind of give
our
you guys a little
telethon.
something. Yeah.
All right.
Wanted to make a little donation there, man.
Well, let Herb read it, because
Well, I have to get the goggles out there.
me too,
Yeah.
but I ain't putting them on.
Let's
But,
see.
$1 million.
and you win a new bicycle.
Yeah. And the numbers are no.
Yeah.
It's
Bingo.
well, I tell you, it says I'm
Don't get lost
quite,
on there.
Gee, $100 for access.
$100,
23
man.
$100
$100 from Mr.
$100
from
Grin.
Timmy
$100. Thank
That's
you.
my last $100. So
I
you
know. And you didn't bring the donuts. So.
Yeah. Well, Benzee was supposed to bring the donuts.
Benzee.
That's why he didn't come.
Yeah, that's what it was.
When
Really,
Benzee
he
brings a
forgot to get the
pizza,
donuts.
it's one of them ones like this. You get with Susie Homemaker oven. They're like that big.
Yeah.
That's it.
Remember that one time he's supposed to have these dog guys kind of and they never showed up?
Yeah, they were supposed to bring hot dogs.
Yeah,
One
we're
guy
all
came, but
hungry.
You guys had the one hot dog guy on. I mean,
Yeah,
like
he was
they
steak
were
guy,
2-foot
yeah.
hot dogs or
Oh
something.
yeah, they were
yeah.
great.
He was good, yeah.
They were tough to digest. It was a lot of hot dogs.
Right.
But we worked hard.
Oh, they were knocked
We
down,
did it.
though.
We did it.
Oh, they were. Yeah, it was a labor.
No,
of
we had
love.
another guy, one of Benzee's cronies, who said he was nice guy too. He was going to bring hot dogs. He never came back.
Oh,
He
wow.
was going to bring us a hot dog, but we got a crew here and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the crew's got to be taken care of.
Yeah,
bet.
yeah. What do you bring? 2 hot dogs?
He didn't bring nothing. He never came back.
How does not quite a hot dog guy.
No,
No.
you know,
Yeah.
Benzee said he was bringing them, but
He needs a kick in the buns.
You know, when the season kicks in, man, I can bring some water ices up here.
Water
I've got
ices?
Italian ices.
oh,
I've got
Italian ice. I was
a,
thinking we're water ice.
yeah, New York Scoops is what we're called.
Oh,
We're
yeah?
out, yeah, we're in Coney Island.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Out by the Dino's Wonder Wheel.
Yeah.
We are in the Poconos over at Camel Beach. We're down in Atlantic City at Steel Piers. Remember, they had the famous horse diver.
Now, how are
back
you
in the-
tied into that?
It's me and my brother.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. We make the Italian ice. We ship the Italian ice. We help them market the Italian ice, and I even wear the mascot. This is the little guy right here.
That sort of looks like you.
Yeah,
Holy.
yeah,
He
it
had a
does.
mustache.
I was actually, we shaved the stash. It was taken off of you though, so I hope you don't mind.
But it looks like was it New York? That looks like a Mets New York.
Well, it's orange and blue tends to jump out at you a lot more than
yeah, but
pinstripes
I'm a
do.
Yankee. I'm a Yankee.
I understand.
I mean, you
No
know, what are you
question.
gonna do?
I'm
neither.
not saying I'm a Met fan. I don't think I could name 3 baseball
Listen,
players.
I was a
honestly.
Patriots fan, and I paid for that.
Well, yeah, for a long time.
I had to come on the show and dress like Minnie Pearl
Oh wow.
because I lost a bet. I bet that they were going to win. And
Yeah.
The Giants won. Somebody else bet the Giants was going to win.
Oh wow.
So what I had to do, whoever lost would have to dress like Minnie Pearl and come on the show.
Okay.
And
Hence,
Call me
and you
Minnie.
can see that on
on YouTube.
YouTube
Yeah.
Well, you can see it in your book.
on my book on my website.
On
Well,
his
now I'll
website.
be able to say it for myself this time. photosbysack.com, just like Benzee says.
Yeah.
You know, and you know,
Oh,
but it's on
you're-
YouTube.
Actually, he's on some of your pictures.
Sure,
Yeah,
I
you're
got
on
one,
his.
yeah.
Did you ever go on there?
I
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah. I've been on the site a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, right after I saw you the last time, I was on the site, went through the whole thing.
You know, you get some of these big things going on. You ought to talk to him, see if he'll come out and take some shots for
I'm
you.
saying, yeah. You're not that
He'd
far,
love
right?
to do it.
No, I'm right in Middletown.
Yeah, okay, yeah. In fact, I was looking at doing some work with the Hookah Lounge down in Middletown on Main Street.
Okay.
The guy over there, young guy, entrepreneur, making it happen. You know, I think Tyler is his name.
Don't
You
know.
know, well, he's just a good guy.
There's something for you, hookah.
You know, they got pool tables. You know, the hookahs. You know, people go in there, they smoke hookahs, and they shoot pool, and they congregate and carry on, listen to music. You know, so it's just a good spot for
they
kind
got
of
food?
They do have food, yeah. They can't prepare food because obviously with all the smoke on, but they have grab and go type stuff, and non-alcoholic drinks.
Oh,
you know, so.
then we're out.
Well, yeah, I mean it's really more
That
for the
eliminated him.
you know, but I mean they do a good thing up there.
Good atmosphere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly.
what
I've been there
counts.
twice, and both times.
Well, you got to
it's
bring
been
some of that. You should bring. Do you have like a little machine you make the ice?
I do actually. Yeah, it's not transportable. It's kind of heavy.
Right.
But
Well, there you
I
go.
could definitely bring some samples up the next time I come.
There
some
you
squeeze
go.
cups,
That works.
You know, I could definitely do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Can you
and,
bring an ice box with you? We need one of them.
Yeah, that I could work on that too. You know, I mean,
But you can see that the studios we're revamping.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm glad you didn't
painting.
lose the trademark guitar here. You know, that was obviously.
It was donated. Somebody wanted to paint it for me, so I was
Yeah,
like,
no, it looks great.
I think the cow has that's the class of the outfit right there.
oh, that
Cow
cow's been
is without doubt iconic.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
iconic. Of like
21
Carl
years he's been hanging his head there. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, eat more chicken is what
Yeah.
he's saying.
So
yeah.
we're going to be going down to Manhattan with this show.
Okay.
And Mr. Phil's show is already going to be down there. So we're working on having our shows broadcast down in Manhattan Cable.
You think they're ready for you?
Yeah, man, I'm moving up.
I'm saying, but do you think they're ready for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean all 5 boroughs?
They love country. Yeah.
Wow. Dude, that's big. I mean, just the access alone.
Then he'll be calling me. I want to come on your show.
I'll be like, hey man, I just.
No, you're welcome on my show anytime.
I'm
You know
gonna
that.
slip Benzee some roofies each week. You know what I mean? He'll be knocked. I'll be like, hey Benzee, I'll fill in. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, you know how Benzee is.
Yeah, nah, I mean, you think that'll be good for him too because he's got, obviously still got a lot of camaraderie down there.
Well, we're supposed to be getting like the Dupree's coming on. And I'm still working on that. Hopefully that takes place. You know, and Larry Chance talked to me. He wants to come back on.
No, I'm working on some bands for you too. I'm working on it.
Great.
All these bands that I shoot.
Well, any band out there would like to come on the show. The only thing we do right now is you got to bring your own sound system, like your own board and your amps and drums, because our sound system just don't handle a band per se. But if you send us a line, you mix your stuff, come early, you get a real nice sound for the band. Your band that you brought.
Yeah, Quimpy Mountain Band.
Oh, they sounded good.
Yeah, they did. They're fantastic, man. They just got back from. They were on tour out Kentucky, Mississippi,
I seen him out in the woods in some little shack they were playing
I
at.
think that was Jesse, the lead singer's grandma's house.
I don't know what it was.
Out in Kentucky, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're good guys, man. They're good guys, you know.
Oh, they had a great sound.
Yeah.
That surprised me because I thought they were going to be like real loud, head banging.
Nah.
They were real tight and really
man.
good band. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on the come up, man. I think keep an eye out for the Quimby Mountain Band, man. I think you know, a couple years from now they'll be you know, they one song from a household name, man. You know,
Right.
that's what I think.
Well, you know, every artist in the world is 3 minutes away from fame.
True indeed. Yeah, true indeed.
You know what that means?
Yeah.
It means 3 minutes on a record if it gets played. And the problem with all of us is if we don't get to a major label, it don't get played.
Well, now there's more opportunity because it's 3 minutes on the internet, on YouTube.
Oh,
How many look at Justin Bieber and all these guys that went viral.
Yeah.
I mean, all the people, the one from England, 2 of them, Adele.
Yep.
It's all internet
Well,
stuff.
with Americans Got Talent, I think with them is you sign your life away to them.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, but I mean, you know, you can make the case though, just like you're saying. I mean, YouTube is the new MTV. I mean,
Right.
it's where talent is found.
So our shows is on YouTube, and then now you can go on access23tv.org,
Okay.
and basically everybody that's got a show has got shows on. I got like 30 shows right on that website. So you can go on there and say Timmy Grins or whatever.
You are prolific, man.
And
You are prolific. You
I don't
have
do the work.
TV,
I'm just
you
an-
have radio. You
I'm
have
just
a
an
band,
idea
you have-
person. All these people here do all the work.
No,
and-
I understand. I just mean that, but from a communication perspective, man, you are prolific.
Lois
you have-
does all the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a good team right there.
She's in there.
Yeah.
She's the one that does it all.
I mean, I'll tell you, man. You know, it's good having a good lady around, man.
Yeah.
My lady, Ms. Catastrophe. You know, she does a lot for me. You know,
that's a good name.
that's her name, man. That's
Is
her,
it really?
Yeah, that's her name. Yeah.
Wow.
She, in fact, last.
Herbs, man, a lot of them it was named that.
Yeah. She
I had one that was miscarriage.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, yeah. Actually, but
Jeez.
she just got featured in a pretty big new music video. She got the lead role. We were out there yesterday. You know, Joan Jett.
Yeah.
So the bassist for the Heart, or what's the name of her band? The bassist in the band, I think it's Blackhearts. Is it Joan Jett, the Blackhearts?
I'm not sure.
Something like that, right? But he's the bassist. got his
He's
own
shaking
band,
his head,
Aces
which
Slade.
don't mean nothing, but he's
Yeah.
shaking his head, yeah.
So she that band they got a new music video and she's like the lead role. So it was like a big deal for her yesterday. So it
Oh,
was,
great.
Yeah, pretty fantastic, man. So I was out in Coney Island yesterday getting all the ices done, and she was in another part of Brooklyn shooting a music video.
Great.
So yeah, nah, man, great stuff, man. Great stuff. You know,
Better
so
marry her now.
yeah, she's got a bright future, man. Bright future. She needs to wear shades for sure.
No nuptials either.
Yeah. She won't sign a prenup with me, man. No way. She got too much money to make.
Right.
For sure.
So listen, we're
Yeah.
gonna go to one of your videos.
Yes.
Wanna explain it a
Well,
little bit?
yeah. This one is called Last Call. And this video was largely responsible for what got me to the Oprah Winfrey Show, which is obviously number 2 to the Carl Richards Show in terms of attendance, you know.
That's
But
right.
she's nipping at your heels, man. You gotta be careful.
We wine and dine him here. Kool-Aid and never mind.
That's right, yeah. T-bone steaks.
Right.
But no, so this one here, it's real story, true story. Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll let it, I don't think I should
right.
say much more than that.
Are we ready in there? Just about. See, that's how it works here.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, I mean, it's called Last Call. It is essentially, all the details are very much my own. There's a little finality to it that we'll discuss after the fact. But, yeah, Last Call. Last Call. And speaking of YouTube, Last Call has taken a life of its own on YouTube.
Here it goes.
It's coming to not knowing the bind that you're in. It's no belt or shoelaces soaked in your urine. It's scattered glass shards still caked in your arms. It's the sweaty shiver that's awaking your alarms. It's staring still drunk at your blackened fingertips with flashes of last night, but no clue what happened since. It's screaming out, there must be something wrong here. Must be some mistake, you see, I don't belong here. It's being helpless, and all you do is call God. And it's hating your own name when it's called by the guard. It's across the commissioner to read what you're charged for. It's north and a southbound, and you hit a car of 4. It's 2 counts of manslaughter, 2 others still critical. It's never feeling more alone since you were cut from the umbilical. It's your chest collapsing and the tears descend, and it's at that moment that it all makes sense. It's the words of your psychiatrist, ex-lovers and friends who tried to get you to suspend, but you denied to no end. It's the excuses you would use, saying it'll never happen again, like, I'm only drinking beer now. You see, it was really just a gin. It's the week in suicide watch till you're released on bail. It's only your bag that's clear when you leave jail. It's your own people decide how they should treat you. Should they shun you when they see you? Is it love it or leave you? It's the equity in your mom's home and every cent that you're worth to pay for a defense that you know you don't deserve. It's 60 days impatient with the dominoes starting. It's fired from your job. It's evicted from your apartment. It's all the time anxiety. It's constant cigarettes. It's AA. It's the blue book. It's following steps. It's praying so hard that your knuckles turn white. It's asking why you didn't die that night. It's wishing you could reverse your life in the hell it's in. It's the victims etched in every bone in your skeleton. It's so shook before court you can't knot your own tie. It's feeling so ashamed you want no one by your side. It's the voice of the mother clutching pictures of her kids. God damn you, murderer, I'll never forgive. It's taking the stand crying with no way to control it. It's finally I'm Timmy Grins, and I'm an alcoholic.
That is so true to the point, and I've known a lot of people who've had problem with drinking and car wrecks and people dying and all that stuff. And you know, some people, I've heard people say, well, and I've said it myself, that DWIs has killed the clubs because nobody goes out and drinks. They're scared to death because they get in a wreck, they lose everything, so they don't dance and they don't party.
Well, I mean, there's a simple solution to that. Obviously, it was to appoint a designated driver.
Right.
You know? I mean, you know, I am a card-carrying member of AA. All right. I have not drank in 11 years. All right.
Oh, good for you, man.
Well, thank you. But it took a near state-sponsored or a state-sponsored vacation, right? By the Department of Corrections in the state of Maryland to sit me down. You know. Now the video you just saw last call is the story of a kid I was in AA with. Okay. He was 19. He hit a family of 4 on New Year's Eve. He did it in a blackout. Killed 2. To this day, does not remember doing it. Spent, he's doing 15 years for manslaughter.
Right.
So 15 years, and he's spending time with, real killers. People who have taken knives to people's throats, people who have blown people's heads off, people who have choked the life out of people. He's in that company, but he doesn't remember even committing the atrocity. So, but for me, fortunately, I didn't have that bottom. I mean, the bottom I had was basically, though I ripped apart, most of my family relationships. I was a total loser. I got 2 DWIs, nearly a third. And that's what got me to stop, man. But it took again that state-sponsored vacation.
He knows. He's been in one of them places.
Right.
He worked there though. He wasn't locked up.
Right.
Was he?
I worked in many.
He's worked in many.
The food was terrible.
He don't want to mention.
The conditions were horrible. And it's like, I sat there and I was like, man, this is my freedom. My freedom is gone.
Right.
And I'm in general population with what must have been, I think, about 140, 150 other inmates. I was at Jessup, which is the State Correctional Institute in Maryland, in Jessup, Maryland. They put some real people in there, So it took that for me to quit drinking, man. But now here I am 11 years later. So, and I was able to channel the energy and write the story, right? Deliver it well.
That song is direct right to you, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and, I speak at colleges, I speak at high schools about the dangers of drinking and driving, especially this time of year.
Right.
Because you got a lot of idiots.
Graduations is coming up.
Yeah, that's right, man. Proms, yeah. Prom, you're 16.
always get one story coming out.
Oh, yeah, totally. You always
Every year.
you see a picture on the side of the road with a couple of roses, and you're like, oh, that sucks.
Right.
That sucks. Because some kid thought it was a good idea, and I was in those shoes. That's what I try to do is get out to as many of them this time of year as I can, so that way I can kind of really kick it at them. Because a lot of times kids can relate to me because I'm not that far removed.
Right.
So.
You're not old, in other words. Right?
Well, yeah.
Like us.
Like you. I'm not old. You're old.
Yeah. No, you're a young man.
That's right. Yeah.
But that's
hillbillies.
Yeah. It's like I said. It's a very real story. It's genuine. So it's easy to talk about those things when it's coming from as an artist.
Right.
When you're coming from genuine.
Well,
experience.
that's what happened with my dad. He was out with his girlfriend, and we were out with him to see a location where we was going to restart a new band and everything. We went out and started his car and my car. We heard brakes. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. Some guy come up the highway and ran the red light and hit both of them, killed them both right in the road.
Your father?
Yeah, and he died in my arms, and it was like I had enough of this, so I got away from the bar scene, playing in the bars. So you want to party with us? You come out to basically street fairs and stuff. I do occasional clubs with my drummer, but it's a different look. You know what you're saying. It's a different look.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, me delivering this in a nightclub setting doesn't always get received very well.
No.
But you deliver it to an audience of 400 high schoolers, juniors and seniors.
Right.
It hits home.
Well, it seems like every year here, just in Port Jervis, we lose somebody to car wrecks and stuff. I don't know if it's always DWIs, but it just seems like it's something like that.
Yeah.
And they've lost quite a few young people who could have maybe made something out of themselves.
Absolutely, man. It's sad to see. And I tell you, when I look back on my own drinking career, and I think about the times that I didn't remember driving home, or, I think that I was out driving on the highway and driving in towns, city streets, and I think to myself, like, when it's 1:30 to 2:30 in the morning, even earlier than that, like 12:30 to call it 3:30, that 3-hour window, that's a scary time to be on the road. Because I think about all of the people that I knew and I was associating with and spending time with in these establishments. That hasn't changed. You and I both know.
Right.
And those people are out there. And it's like you said, man, I'm very sorry to hear about that, man. I'm sorry.
Well, it happened. Once it happens, there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
It's just a terrible situation, but you just got to learn from it.
Right.
No, but we brought you up here. You got some really good stuff, and you're gonna do some poems for us, right?
Yeah. I figured, last time I was up here with Quimby, we did some rapping on beats, and which was cool, But a lot of times, like, what I have to say, sometimes gets lost a little bit in the music.
Right.
So that's where sometimes it's nice to deliver it, like you saw in Last Call, almost in spoken word fashion.
Right.
And I've got a piece that's called All Falls Down, Stand Up, right? And it's essentially about, it is, I think, in a lot of ways, the collapse of white America, okay?
Right.
Now that's, look, I know we have people of all races and creeds that watch the show, right? But I am speaking from the seat of a white person. I'm a white person that grew up in the United States.
Right.
Okay. This song is speaking about that person, what they're going through in this current economic climate. I'm not saying it's more difficult or anything along those lines. It's just where it's coming from. Right. And it goes. I'm from the first group of kids that's doing worse than my mom and dad. Here's looking at my status, that is working lower class. I'm labeled as efficient because I don't need the state assistance, but the money that I'm making really ain't that great a difference. You see, I ain't the finest scholar, but I spent some time in college with them MasterCarded borrowed dollars that kept me popping collars. But living check to check, it's ever stressed the funds will last. I'm a downsize away from going getting guns and mask. It's no wonder that I stumble for them get you richer quickers, and the pressure's even thicker when I got kids up in the picture. It ain't easy staying honest when the world is falling on us and our baby mamas really ain't exactly paying homage. It's sad when you ain't having really what was once imagined. But instead of changing patterns, we're toasting brews in taverns. There's days I can't get out of bed. I wrestle with depression. I'm late 20s guessing that success, it isn't destined. But it's seeming that the rich, they live in lavish, stacking chips, and they package it as going global. But they're pressing down the averages. Me and most around me, man, we barely even having whips. Let's even have enough cash to even put some gas in it. And we're mad because the math is just completely gone against us. We're so defenseless, just like U.S. home defenses. So we're codependent like heroin and methadone is working harder, longer, hoping just to get a bonus. But still it's never quite enough to finally see the surface, man. We're indentured servants. And our cell phones are checked by Secret Service, whose only objective is just to keep us nervous, because the scattered, we never focus. And it don't matter who my vote is, because they both got other motives. Just notice how they're doing all the older pension holders. We're expendable material of the mighty money folders. Watch it as it's rolling, because in this life you've got to keep going. But when it hits, you're never knowing until it all falls down.
All right, man. That made a lot of sense.
That's what I'm talking about. Because
well,
that's
your
what's
stuff
going
does
on.
make a lot of sense. I listen to, now I've listened to mostly all your stuff.
Thank you.
When you send it over to me on Facebook.
Thank you. Yeah.
And then I pass it around to everybody. And
I mean, it's what's going on right now. It's like people talk about Barack Obama. They talk about Mitt Romney. And I'll tell you straight up, I voted for Barack Obama in 2008. Right. Right now, Mitt Romney, the guy can't see his way out of a paper bag. I mean, the guy is just he is just told what to do and he says what it. But Barack Obama, he hasn't exactly done much. But if you look at the circumstances, they both look the same. You know, they both look the same, and they're
Well,
catering
they all sleep
to,
in the same bed.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, when you look at some of the circumstances that are in play in the United States, and look, if you look, what defines a great society? You know, in my mind, what defines a great society is when everybody is taken care of, right? It's how you treat the lowest person on the totem pole that defines your character. And it's like, how is it that we are the wealthiest country in the world, yet people still sleep in the streets? People still have to beg for health care. People, the unemployment rate, now granted, look,
even people at work got to beg for health care.
yeah, exactly. You can barely afford it.
Well, you know how many people retire from their job? And when I was young, they would say to me, well, if you don't, get out of construction, get a job with health care and everything. When you retire, the day they retire, they cut their health care and they got to pay for it themselves.
Right.
That means they need a second job. So they still got to work.
Yep.
My dad used to say there's no such thing as retirement.
Right.
There isn't any.
Right. Right. And look, I'm not saying my generation has it any more difficult than any other generation. Every generation has had its challenges. You had World War II, you had Vietnam, you had, all sorts of circumstances that it's like, okay, it's things go in cycles, right? So the country is going through a cycle, okay? We're having a hard time getting ahead. But the one piece that I'm seeing that has occurred is that we have gone from an economy of 300 million to an economy of 6 billion because we're now global, right? And when you go to a global economy, the averages get pressed down. So now all of a sudden, if there was 300 million competing for a certain number of jobs, now you've got 6 billion competing for a certain number of jobs. So the average is going to get pressed down. So it's like, okay, that's going to happen. I recognize that. This is capitalism. We're all trying to get ahead. We're all fighting for our own peace, okay? And I've got no problem with that, okay? Capitalism, I think, is good because it creates free market. It creates all good things. But when it seems at times that it's rigged to the success of a certain few and rules and regulations are dictated by people with money, then those that don't, where do they go? And again, how do you look at that guy lowest on the totem pole?
I think it was always like that. It's just now we got YouTube, we got Facebook, we got all, and we could see what's going on. Where in the 50s, maybe even the early 60s, you didn't see everything was going on. And the media didn't come out and say this guy was with this girl or all the foul stuff about the candidate. Yeah. Today, it's like anything anybody does
forget it.
Is on Facebook.
Totally transparent.
Or on YouTube in a heartbeat.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's good and bad. It's good for exposure, and they've made it that way because, like for me, like the record companies and all them did the same thing. They kept in their clique. I met the head of Epic Records. I was sitting in his office, and he says, "We keep it in our family."
Right.
And he made friends with me, but he said, we get songs from people in our group. We get the music. And if you come down here with $1, we'll take it. If you come with $1 million, we're going to take it. Right. Doesn't mean you're going to do anything. Don't mean you're going to have a hit. You're going to be on a major label or nothing. We'll take your money. We'll take your dream. And that's what they do. And everything's ran the same way.
Right.
I mean, even in Caesar's day, when Caesar, he did the same thing.
Right. Right.
They lived in glory, and all the people was out in the fields or whatever they were doing.
Right. So, I mean, so I guess it's a little bit of a sociological phenomenon, right? In a sense that, rich will always get richer, poor will always get poorer. But the fact is that it just needs to be a little more the spreading of the wealth.
Well, I call it the union theory. My own is the theory of that is keep everybody arguing and fighting. Meanwhile, we're going to take the honey.
Because the scattered never focus.
That's right.
Right?
If they kept us three arguing and fighting and arguing about money and how we're going to do this and jobs and
or tuned in to what the Kardashians did.
Meanwhile, they're going, keep them arguing.
Yeah.
Keep them arguing.
Yeah. Keep arguing.
I mean, like the corn, methanol for gas.
Right.
They knew about that way centuries ago. And instead of using that so farmers could save their land and grow corn for methanol, they stole the land. And now they're saying methanol because they own the land.
Sure. Monsanto.
Yep.
Monsanto, you know? It's like, I mean, look, again.
That's why he goes down the field and picks corn all night long.
Yeah, well,
I think he's making something else, but yeah.
Well, I can tell you, I have a son that's in his 20s,
Yeah.
and it's tough to get a full-time job.
Yep.
Everyone's working part-time jobs and 2 and 3 part-time jobs to get by.
Right.
And you can't get a foothold. Years ago, in my time and Carl's time, you know, you could go in, you get a job, and you'd work hard at it, or not work hard at it, but you just plod along, and you could get your house, you could, you know.
Right.
But that isn't happening anymore.
Well, with computers, which I don't like, is you can't go have a sit down with the people hiring you and tell them your spiel or what you can do.
At times, you're right about that.
You got to send in your resume or whatever it is to even these little $8 an hour jobs, and hope you get picked for something.
Yeah. There's some desensitization there. I mean, you know, on the you know, the other thing on the job front though is that, you know, benefits are gone. You know, or and all that.
Non-existent.
Like, yeah, but you see what happens is that they're taking things away. Now look, the pension system, okay, it doesn't make sense because the guy making the car in one part of here can't compete with the other side of the world. I mean, there has to be some rules and regulations on the other sides of the world where things are, if we're all competing for the same dollar across the world, we've all got to be playing by the same rules. But it's going to take some time for us to get there.
Well, I think that's never going to change, only because it's having my own business. They brought people from other countries here, like to hang sheetrock and to mow lawns and do all that kind of stuff. And it's like, would I hire you for $20 an hour when I can get 10 of them for $10 an hour?
Sure.
And everybody's greedy. The greed is what sets it that way. They don't care if you know what you're doing. They'll have 10 guys there making half of what you make for your pay. 10 guys.
Yeah.
Mow your lawn, cut your shrubs, build your stone wall, sheetrock your house, and send 20 of them there.
Sure.
And then you send in, like yourself, like a pro, for a couple days just to make sure everything's right.
Yeah.
And that's what they did the company I was in. It was like they didn't care who they hired as long as it was free or really free.
No, sure. I mean, I don't know if you've heard, but illegal immigration in the United States actually has peaked. In fact, the number of people that were coming across the border from Mexico is now on decline. And that is because, quite honestly, it doesn't pay as much to be in the United States anymore. You can almost make as much staying in Mexico. So it's like, you know, the economy and what's occurred here has made, and in some ways, shapes, or form, has, you know, stymied that tide. You know.
Well, you know, a lot of people, you ever hear people say, well, let's give them people the job nobody wants to do? I've heard that a million times.
Sure.
They're doing jobs our young people don't want to do. Well, excuse me, but they're learning how to mow the lawn, how to build a wall, how to build a house. And now, after 15 or 20 years, they're the boss. And they get government grants because they're foreigners, really.
Sure.
And they have their own companies. And you, who had the business to start with, have no work.
Well, that's, you know, look, in those circumstances, again, I'm a believer in capitalism, right? You've got to be smarter, right? You've got to continue to educate yourself. And that's the piece, really, more than anything. I think that if the United States is going to continue to compete globally, and we need to take care of each other. We need to spend a little bit more on our health care to make sure we're healthy. But even more importantly than that, we got to educate. It costs, you know, the cost of college was going up. And this is where I was saying in the song, you know, the MasterCarded borrowed dollars kept me popping in college. You know, I'm not the finest scholar, but I spent some time in college, right?
Right.
It's like college costs so much money. The cost of college is practically doubling every 6 or 7 years. Right. You know, I spent some time as a financial advisor for Morgan Stanley. And when I would sit down with people and I would tell them, okay, you just had a kid? Okay, so 18 years from now, you want to send your kid to a public or private institution. Okay, so you want to try to send them to Syracuse. What's Syracuse? About $30,000 a semester right now? So $250,000 a year right now to go for, or I'm sorry, $250,000 for a 4-year education. So $240,000. Now, the cost of college was increasing by 8 or 9% a year. Using the rule of 72, which is anything divisible by 72 means it will double. So if it costs 8%, that means every 9 years the cost of college is going to double. So that means that by the time that kid born today wants to go to Syracuse University at 18, it's going to cost $1 million. 240, 480.
Yeah, and then where are they going to get a job?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to be $1 million in debt by the time you walk out. So what does that mean? Again, the higher echelons of society have the ability to compete.
Let's go back to bartering.
I hear
Grins told
you.
me this a long time ago. Let's go back to bartering. You get something for what you do.
Yeah, but see, that's also though where innovation has been in the United States one of the biggest calling cards. Have you guys seen these online courses on YouTube? What's the guy's name? I forget his name. But Bill Gates mentioned him, and the next thing you know, all his stuff was viral. And now he basically went, he was a venture capitalist in California, and his niece or nephew needed assistance with some math course. He started just speaking it and writing it in some sort of black chalkboard fashion and made a YouTube video. And he did it just for his niece or nephew's benefit, but then it caught on fire. So next thing you know, now he's got courses across the board of free learning that now I or you can go watch and get better educated. You know, again, that's another means or way of crushing the system.
They're already having teachers in the classroom on TV, not even a teacher there to teach that course.
Exactly.
There's not even a human there. It's
Crazy.
Yeah.
like one teacher could actually be in 100 schools giving the same course.
Innovation, man. Innovation, and on top of innovation.
All right, we got some kind of signals coming over. Oh, we only got 10 minutes? Well, you talk a lot, buddy.
Yeah, I hear you, man. You get me
Well,
warmed up.
it's very interesting. I brought you on to talk
No,
tonight,
no,
and
no,
you always
yeah.
bring a band or something. I'd rather, for some time,
Yeah,
just
just
talk
get
to
up
you and then whoever this
and
guy
kick it,
drifted in.
You know, if I can, there's one thing I'd like to talk about here tonight. Do we have the other video ready to go? It's ready?
All right, we're going to go to another video here.
This one here is called Dreamers, okay? It was originally written by a guy named Hunter Hooligan, who was like a young Elton John. It features my girlfriend, Ms. Catastrophe. Ms. did all of the styling, did a lot of the work behind the scenes, and really has been the chief marketer of this video because the video itself is the catalyst for a campaign for cancer research. Our goal this year is to find a way to raise $100,000 for cancer research.
Great.
Very ambitious. So, and when we get back after the video and talk to you about how we are going to do that. So, this is Dreamers, and, I think you'll enjoy it, man. Very uplifting.
And you will be my dream tonight.
Hunter Hooligan,
Oh,
Timmy Grins.
and you will be my dream tonight.
Dreamers, y'all. Dreamers. Come on.
White picket fence, white picket friends, white picket it's given to you. Red roses bloom into the room. White picket it's given to you. Underneath my blue-eyed features there is sleep, and we are dreamers. We are dreamers, and you will be my dream tonight. And you will be my dream tonight.
girl. She would call me Gia, me I call her Pina. Attitude, the volume up, crush your kind of love. Like everything about her power, by some higher up. Fired up like every time I see her, it's like we wired up. I don't know, I don't think I'll ever be convinced there'll ever be another that will do it like we did. A love and that's for ages, like ripping through the pages, like letting go, cause yes we know the only thing that we could do to save us was right to walk away today, the height of all the buns. Now all that we remember just how really great it was. And love us when we leave, and if we leave we're not a scar. And love us when knowing that we can give our hearts. She's the only reason I can even see the sleep. My friends that even knew yo, they say you leave a beat. For me, I've never been one to say I can't do. When the door was closed, yo, the window came through. So me, I keep stepping just like what could be next. And living each day like it's better than the rest. And waiting on the moment of the life I catch us up. I'm sure there've been some others, yo, but none are matched up. I'm sure there've been some others, yo, but none are matched up.
And even though I'm lost, you know it's better off. And we float along, and we turn out wrong. But you always see that you're always in my dream.
This is going for y'all, summer syndicate alone. You and me was never whether we was right or wrong. Write a song for you to listen, y'all, but life it treat you bitterly. Me, I get inspired, just admiring your Twitter feed. It'll be on until I'm gone, yeah, but I ain't going quietly. Showing you can make it, you're from anywhere, anything you try to be. I can see it, I can do it, I can do it, I can see. Attitude is all in myself, I'm feeling prophecy.